Yes, folks, we are live. Welcome to the Solo Cruise Tips Show on the YouTube channel Passion for Cruises and Holidays for Solos, plus Passion for Cruises Facebook group, Cruises for Solos Facebook group, and the page. Welcome everybody who are watching live and who are watching on playback. Right, I need to introduce the team. And please, by the way, everybody out there, please ask us any questions you have and we'll explain about what we're going to do. But first of all, I really need to introduce everybody. So to talk about who we all are. So Chili, Justin, I think it has to be ladies first. It really does. So first of all, I'm going to introduce Alison. Hi, Alison.
Hi, everyone.
Now, can you explain exactly what you do and talk about your Facebook page, please?
Okay, that's my Facebook page, Cruising with Alison. So I just share various contents on there, some of my cruising videos, cruising experience, any news and tips that are coming up. And yeah, I'm just starting to hopefully start a vlog as well soon. I'm going to get into vlogging and blogging if I can as well. See how that goes.
Fantastic. And Lizzie Lou.
Hi, everyone.
Please tell us about your channel.
Well, my channel is mainly food focused. So I love to show people videos and pictures about food because, you know, I think when you go on a cruise, you really want to know what you're going to be eating because I think dining on a cruise ship is very important. So that's what I focus on. And then my Facebook page is pictures about ships and adventures and excursions.
That's fantastic. Now, we are the media team. We are the media team for Passion for Cruises and the admin team for Cruises for Solos. And congratulations to Alison and to Lizzie, because you are now officially working for Passion for Cruises. Congratulations.
Thank you. We are. Both,
Thank you.
I think we're delighted, yeah.
Right.
People, if any of you guys want to book a cruise with Passion for Solos, these two ladies will have to book your way.
Now, in America, because we're not just Passion for Cruises is mostly UK at the moment, and we will be making some announcements for our American friends, by the way. But we do have in America, we have Chili Cruises, the legend. Chili, hi.
Hi, Pete and everybody. Yeah, I do. I got so many hats that my ears get sore. I do a daily news show, Travel and Cruise Industry News, which is at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have an accessibility blog, which is accessadventures.net. I've done over 20 cruises this year already, and I've got 2 more booked. I've also have gotten real good at being on cruise ships chased by hurricanes. I just got back from being chased all over by Hurricane Nicole.
And what Chili won't say, he was featured recently on the New York Times podcast, which is amazing, which is incredible.
Chili.
Congratulations, Chili.
Thank
and from one of the best places to be, if you ever want to cruise from, we have Justin, Mr. Bucket List, in Tampa, in Florida. Hi, Justin.
Hello. So yes, I'm Mr. Bucket List. I love just to travel in general. I specialize in solo traveling. That's what kind of got my channel started with my bucket list. And then I did this little thing called solo cruising, and I ended up just enjoying it. I got addicted to it. So like Chili, I've been on a lot of cruises. I actually have 2 coming up. One on Thanksgiving Day, and then one 2 weeks later on Virgin Voyages. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm happy and here to help.
Introduce myself. I'm Cruising Tips Pete. Sorry about the picture there. It looks like me, doesn't it? Yeah, more hair than me. That's my YouTube channel, and I'm heading the media team for Passion for Cruises. And I basically started Cruises for Solos, and we do have an apology from Fraser, who is the Solo Traveller UK. He couldn't be with us. He's from Scotland, and he will be on the next show. We got some questions, do we, Chili?
Well, Maureen's saying congratulations to both Alison and
Hi, Maureen.
And Irene says the same, and we all agree with that. I think it's absolutely terrific that you 3 guys are all now in the same boat working for Passions for Cruises. That's just awesome.
Thanks.
And, let's see. Claire says, "Hi, doesn't the World Europa look amazing sailing on January 7th from Dubai? This will be my first cruise. There you go, Pete.
Wow.
First
That's
time
amazing.
on World Europa.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to talk about today, solo cruise tips. That's really important. Please ask us any questions. We will share our experience as well. We're going to talk about Solo Power as well. Solo Power. This is an article about us in the Sunday Times. It's really about solo cruisers. And is 2023 going to be a huge year for solo cruisers, which I think it really could be. And also we're going to talk about hosted cruises, because we are going to be hosting cruises in the next few years. And we'll talk about what a hosted cruise is, and the hosted cruises that we have booked as well, and how you can do that, which is exciting times, especially if you haven't cruised before. Right. First of all, Chili,
Yes.
what would your number one piece of advice be for a solo cruiser? If someone hasn't cruised before, they're nervous about cruising solo for the first time, especially accessibility as well, which is what you do as well. Please let us know what your number one tip would be.
All right. Well, the first thing that I would say is you got to go at it with an open mind, and don't worry. I mean, I know you're going to be scared for being on the first cruise, especially if you're solo the first time, that you're not going to meet anybody, that you're going to be all by yourself, and you're going to spend a week on a boat out in the middle of the ocean and not know anybody or have anything to do. Well, that's going to be the furthest thing from the truth. Especially if you're lucky enough to have a cruise that has some kind of a meet and greet for solos or single travelers, by all means, I recommend you go to it, and you'll meet other people. My favorite spot on a cruise ship anymore, because I travel only solo, is the dining room. The first meal, you're eating dinner with strangers. But by the second meal, you're eating dinner with 8 or 10 of your best friends.
Yeah.
They're just terrific.
Absolutely.
Then you meet people around the ship, especially you've got this core now that you had dinner with. You'll see them all around the ship. They're going to have other people that they've met. You're going to meet through them. It becomes a big family real quick.
Alison, the same question, really. For you, the number one.
I tend to, if I'm going on a ship, especially if I haven't been on it before, I like to look at the ship itself, go on, look at YouTube videos, deck plans, things like that. Try and familiarize myself with the ship a little bit, because it's very daunting when you get on a ship. Any new ship, especially if you've never been on a cruise before. So if you can just even familiarize yourself with just a little bit of things that are on board before you even get on, it just kind of helps to settle you down a little bit, I think. So that's something I always do, is check out the ship I'm on. Either deck plans or YouTube videos are great. There's so many out there.
And Lizzie?
Well, my recommendation is on Facebook, they have cruise-specific groups. So look up your cruise you're on, the date, and look for a group and connect with people beforehand. And you can chat to them for weeks before, and that's a good way to make friends. So when you see someone on board, and then in these groups, they do organize meetups. So that's my top tip. Connect before the cruise.
Justin?
Mine is just to make yourself approachable. A lot of people have that fear that when you go on a cruise ship, if you're not gonna know anybody, you're not gonna have friends, things like that. When people see you sitting alone, they're gonna ask questions after a couple of days, like, "Are you with anybody?" And they want to get to know you and end up becoming your friend. So between what Tilly was saying, sitting at the dining room, and it's so many opportunities to make friends. So just be approachable.
Yeah, I would say from my point of view, as a solo cruiser, first of all, please go to the solo meeting. Now, go to each meeting, because I've met people on the second or third. They don't always go to the first one. It's worth just popping in the solo meeting. It really is. And before we ask this question, and the other one, with Passion for Cruises, we have events, yeah?
Yep.
We have an event for every single cruise that we are doing where you can talk to fellow cruisers from Passion for Cruises who are going to be on your cruise, similar to the Facebook group, Lizzie. That's another really big thing.
Yeah.
So, Chili, we've got some questions.
Brenda says, I went on my first cruise last month, best holiday I ever had, going Canary Islands in February, got the cruise bug. Yeah, now that's a drawback, folks. You go on one,
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to want to go.
It isn't just going to be one.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be one. Be prepared.
You
Yeah.
really are. Fantastic.
I research
Yeah.
stuff on YouTube, look at videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
in-
a lot
yeah.
of people like me that make videos. Take
Yeah.
a look at them. If
But
you
they're
have
so
any
helpful, Chili,
accessibility
for
issues,
yeah, they're so helpful, Chili, for, like I was saying, people that haven't cruised before. They're brilliant for people.
if you have accessibility issues, take a look for. There's not as much of that information. That's one of the things that I'm trying to improve on and get going. I've started really posting a full accessibility report now on every ship I go on. I wish I'd
Brilliant.
started it earlier in the year. So I got to go back now and see if I have enough information from each of the ships to do a full report. But I do that
Do you know,
on every.
if
on every
you don't,
ship.
Chili, you're just going to have to cruise on them again.
I know. Yeah, that would be awful. I have to repeat myself.
Just to give everyone a heads up, I mean, we're going to talk about the Solar Power in a bit. We're going to talk about 2023. We're going to talk about Black Friday. We're going to talk about hosted cruises. But as you know, we're on Cruises for Solos. We have also a lot of American members to the group. And we will be making that announcement in the next few weeks, the next week, I hope. But I can tell you now, we are now going to organize a joint hosted cruise from the East Coast, from the Florida coast, which is going to be good for you, Mr. Bucket List, Justin. Yeah, next year it's going to be a joint hosted cruise with Chili and Justin, going from the East Coast. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be announcing once we've got it organized. We're going to announce it. It's going to be the first of many opportunities. So the American side of things, especially on Cruises for Solos, please be patient. That is all coming up. So excellent, guys. Can you imagine Chili and Justin together?
Chaos.
If you can't have a good time with the two of us hosting, you can't have a good time anywhere. I promise you.
I agree.
Watch out for that. Yeah, watch out for that. Oh man,
We will totally get you in trouble. I promise,
Oh yeah.
without a doubt.
he said it. I can't wait. Fantastic, Chili. That's going to be amazing. And we're talking about the Solar Power as well. Solar Power. How would you describe Solar Power? Well, as you know, I came back recently from the MSC Virtuosa. There are 400 solos on board. It was a joint venture with Cruises for Solos and Passion for Cruises. And we were in the Sunday Times. The Sunday Times did an article about it, and they called it Solar Power. And what it means, it's not us. It's everybody out there. It's the solo cruisers. For the first time, you have the power. It's amazing. Now, all of us, every one of us has been paying ourselves to go cruising solo for God knows how many years now, paying way over the odds most of the time. For the first time, because of Cruises for Solos with 39,000 members and Passion for Cruises, you're talking about 20,000 members. It's incredible. The membership, the solos have the power to have better deals. And the cruise lines have stood up. And the Sunday Times saw it, posted about it, talked about the 400 that I was looking after. Lizzie's got over 200 to look after coming up soon. We'll talk about that as well. So everybody, thank you so much. The solos who are part of our two wonderful groups and all the communities, everybody's own channels. You, for the first time, I think, have given Solar Power. And chaps, ladies, I do think 2023 is going to be a bumper year for solos. What do you think?
I totally agree, Pete. And one of the things that I've noticed, even over here in the States, the cruise lines now, you're finding more and more where they're not charging the 100% so a single supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you're paying 50% or sometimes 30%, but it's one of the first things I check to see if they're giving you any kind of break at all. And I'm trying to stay away from those that are still charging the 100%, so.
Justin, do you find the same in America? You find exactly the same?
I am. So, for example, the cruises I just recently booked that I'm going on this month, they both have sales are basically for solos. They advertise, hey, no supplement fee or discount like Tilly was talking about. It's becoming more and more common, absolutely.
Wow. And Alison and Lizzie, you see the other side of things at the moment as well. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on 2023 being a bumpy year for solos?
I totally agree. I think it's going to be amazing. We're seeing deals coming through all the time and more, and from different cruise lines that probably wouldn't have given discounts before are now coming up with deals. So yeah, it can only be a good thing.
Yeah, you feel the same thing, Lizzie?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 2023 and 2024 is just going to be incredible for solos, getting all the deals. And it's so lovely to have a whole bunch of people working for these deals for us.
Wow. Have we missed any of these questions, Chili? Because I was talking before.
I'm staying on top of it.
Anything I need to talk about? Okay. What we're all going to talk about also, I'm going to talk about the hosted cruises. So go for it, Chili.
Wasn't that a great trip, Pete? I had my first cruise last month on the Virtuoso after following PFC for months. I am now an addict.
I met Paul on the Virtuoso. Hi, Paul. How are you? Missing it so much, missing everybody so much. Paul, we had a wonderful time. I still remember Paul dancing away, under the dome, having a great time. It was an incredible, spectacular cruise. It really was. And that's what we're talking about, Solar Power. We had 300 from Passion for Cruises on it and another 100 from other companies as well. And the deals that we got were just unbelievable. Less than $100 a day for 15 days with a balcony and premium drinks.
Oh, wow.
It's unheard of. Solar Power. That's what it's about. And also coming up, we've got Black Friday coming up, folks. Yeah. Black Friday is not this Friday. I think it's the Friday after, to my knowledge. Yeah. We are going to be popping up live all over the place with all kinds of hot deals. And I could pop up with any one of our team who's available, who wants to do it, would be wonderful. So you're not just looking at me. So please put that in your diary. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, yeah? Because we're going to be popping up with all kinds of amazing deals over that Black Friday. And we're going to be having another show talking about the hosted cruises update. Right. No more questions there, Chili, before I talk about the hosted cruises.
No, go ahead.
Right. Now, one of the questions I've had from many members is that they're nervous about going on the first cruise. We've all been in that boat, literally.
Yeah.
We've all had that first solar cruise, and I hadn't cruised before. I hadn't got a clue what to expect. Really nervous about what to do, and we've given some tips so far about what to do. But one of the big things I would personally think, a hosted cruise with one of us on, or one or more of us on, I would say, yeah, is the perfect first cruise to do. There's no extra charge. We're not charging extra for it. And to be honest with you, we only really do it when we can get enough cabins, and the deal is incredible. So the hosted cruises tend to be the best price cruises of the lot. And for instance, we'll talk about the ones coming up as well. So if you haven't cruised before, we are going to be announcing in the next few months as many hosted cruises as we can. We'll talk about the one that Chili and Justin are going to do. And that is one of my top tips. I mean, Paul was on it with us, and we make friends, and you make friends for life. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll go through the cruises that we got coming up from the hosted cruises, yeah? And just to talk about that. Now, the first hosted cruise coming up is this one, yeah? It's the 27th of January on the MSC World Europa Dubai Group Cruise. It's, again, The deal we got for 7 days flying with Emirates, having a premium drinks package, was unbelievable. That deal is gone, unfortunately. The flights have gone, but I do know that you can join us through Doha on a different day. We got about 75 of us on that cruise. But just to give you the heads up what I'm talking about, there's a wonderful group of friends that I have that I'm in contact with all the time on a WhatsApp group. They give me such a hard time. And about 7 or 8 of us met. 7 or 8 of us met on the Royal Caribbean, Anthem of the Seas. We went to the solo meeting. We met in a solo meeting, was unhosted, but we got to meet each other. And then after that, we spent time with each other. Then about 10 of us went on the MSC. We were on the MSC Magnifica round of Europe, purely from that cruise. And on that cruise, we talked about, what do you think about this idea? Every single one of us are on it, plus friends. You meet friends for life. It's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Definitely
It's
do.
so exciting. And if you haven't seen it, by the way, Steve P, the wonderful Steve P, he's on the World Europa at the moment in Dubai. No, sorry, in Qatar, I should say. He's been invited to the naming ceremony, and we had a live show with him. It's on the YouTube channel. Go under the live. YouTube have changed how they list all the videos. You've got videos, shorts, and live. Click on the live. You'll see that Steve is still live on board the MSC. So that is the first. That is the next hosted cruise coming up, and you can join us if you want to go from Doha. But and I can't read all that, but on the big screen you will read it. It's an incredible itinerary.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Yeah, and the next one, it's not about me, by the way. Honestly, it will not just be about me. This is the order of it. The next one we're doing is on the Royal Caribbean. Yeah, the Symphony of the Seas, the 7th of May. Symphony of the Seas. That is the itinerary. And there are some bucket list itineraries there. Justin, you told me that you prefer the Symphony of the Sea to the Wonder of the Seas. Is that correct?
I do. And the main reason why is it's more catered towards adults. So, I mean, obviously, if you're going solo, you probably won't have your kids with you. But if you all go on that cruise, you'll really enjoy that ship. Absolutely.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
So the Symphony of the Sea, it's their second biggest ship, wasn't it? It's no longer the biggest ship, yeah. It looks an incredible and amazing. We have got a certain amount of cabins with a really low solo supplement price. The price changes all the time with Royal Caribbean. It isn't us, and the deals change all the time. Please talk to us. That is available. That is an amazing cruise that we're going to be doing, yeah.
Wow.
19th of May, Lizzie.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. I know, I can't wait. We've got over 200 solos on this bucket list cruise. And just look at this. The itinerary is incredible. So I can't wait to create events and, meetups for everyone to get together and explore this destination.
And we will talk about exactly what a hosted cruise is and what you can expect on a hosted cruise, because we're learning all the time. Yeah. So, and we've got a lot more coming. On the 3rd of September, the Explorer of the Seas. This is the 3rd of September, Explorer of the Seas, an unbelievable bucket list cruise as well. I know there's over 50 of us on this already. Over 50. Yeah. Lizzie and myself are going to be joint hosting this cruise.
Double trouble.
Double trouble with Lizzie and myself. Now, talk about double trouble, because I know there are 2 people who are going to be on this cruise. Alison and Mr. Bucket List are on this amazing cruise.
This is going to be the cruise of the year, Justin, isn't it? This is the one that you got to be on. Definitely. I think we've got over 40 on that one. I'm pretty sure we're approaching nearly 50 on that one. This is the itinerary on this one. Have you got the itinerary, Pete?
I do.
Athens, Egypt, Israel. We'll be going to Turkey, Greek islands, Cyprus. It's going to be incredible, and we're going to get some amazing footage from that one, Justin. You're going to it's going to be
The
fantastic.
interesting part of that is not that the two of you guys are doing that cruise. It's how Justin is going to get from over here to over there.
Long
He's going to
trip.
do it in a kayak. To get
Kayaking to Athens from Florida.
I think that Justin's got his drone. If you don't know, on his channels, Justin has a drone and he flies a drone for footage. I wonder if you can. That'd be great if you can bring that as well. If you're allowed to use it, Justin, to get some great footage of Alison, enjoying herself on top deck and stuff on the drone. So you could maybe get the drone to take you over there, Justin. Do you think?
I wish.
Yeah.
Now, a hosted cruise. I mean, basically, it's a friendly face on board. That's what we are trying to talk about. I think we'll all need addition. We will do. Now, I'm going to be ready for Black Friday, Paul. Yeah.
Good.
We will keep everyone be ready. What is a hosted cruise? I mean, a hosted cruise is a friendly face on board. We're not reps. We're not experts on everything, but we were there to help everybody have a good time. That's what we try to do. So you're not alone. So you're not by yourself. For instance, we're going to have our coffee meet. First of all, in the kind of run of the day, we have something called Breakfast Club, where the early risers can have a table, have breakfast together.
That's me. I'll be at breakfast.
Yeah, I'm me. I'm a breakfast club
Yes,
person.
I'm an early riser.
Actually, are you getting back from the nightclub by then, are you? Yeah.
I'm up at 4 a.m., dude.
You're the 4 a.m.
I'm the early
Pete, you're the only one that misses
family.
breakfast, Pete.
I am not good at the breakfast club. I did make the breakfast club quite a few times, by the way. I'm a virtuoso, but
Oh, well done. Well done. I'm a 5 a.m. riser.
Yeah.
What about you, Justin?
I'm up pretty early, about 4 to 5. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm up early.
Yeah,
too.
only you, Pete.
Only you, Pete.
Yeah.
You think noon is early.
I'm going to get in trouble on the next cruises, aren't they? They're all going to be dragging me to the breakfast club. Yeah.
He's
So,
doing lunch clubs.
so that, and then we have
Cindy,
like the
to answer your question, yes, we are planning on doing some U.S. cruises, and they're going to announce very shortly on a cruise that Justin and I will be hosting, and so.
Yeah, and to explain, basically, these cruises, we'll be announcing cruises where you'll be booking in America as well, basically. That's the most important thing. So please be patient. We are working on it. It's a big thing to do. It's a huge thing to do. And that way you can join us as well. It's going to be complicated, different prices, different structures, but we're going to do that as well. So, yeah, thank you, Chili. Yep.
Does MSC ships provide free shuttle buses in the ports, or does it come at a cost?
Cost. I was on the Virtuosa. You had to pay basically, unless the port did it.
Yes, I think it depends on the itinerary, because some ports like La Rochelle, where the port authorities put on buses.
I think you'll find on the Fjords one, your dock's literally right there at the port, so you just walk off and you're literally in the port. So,
and then you'll also find on some of the excursions that the transportation is included from the port. So then you don't have to pay extra for the bus. You have to pay for the excursion, and that includes the bus.
Yep.
Yes, it's a really good question. It really is. Just to go back roughly, again, what to expect. Every one of us will do the hosted in a slightly different way, yeah? We're all individuals. We all do our own thing. We all have our own way about us. We just want to give you an idea of the structure. And one of the things that worked really well on the Virtuosa was the coffee club. And the coffee club will include many things, right? You meet up for a coffee every day. The host will be there every single day, basically. So you know someone is there, which is so important. And there'd be things like you can get together to meet up there, to walk off the ship together, to share transportation to various places if you want to walk around the various ports, to organize to go on excursions together, maybe talk about doing some of the specialty restaurants together if you want to, because not everybody does that because we're solos. It's a really good meeting point, you know, and we'll have, once every cruise, we will have a giveaway as well, you know, which is going to be a raffle. You don't have to do anything. It's purely a raffle. You put your name in a hat, and we have these prizes. We're going to do that. You know, book club where you can bring some books and swap the books together. Card club if you want to do things together with cards, or sort of hustle each other, that kind of thing. There's all kinds of stuff. Chili.
Yeah. A question, Pete, that maybe you want to clarify. Do you do a sail away, get together, or something when somebody gets on the ship the first time? Do you make yourself available to everybody to come by and say hello or whatever?
Yeah, what we try to do is work with the cruise line so we can have a big meeting, a big meetup for all the solos on the first day, you know. But also, we go live. The group of us will go live on YouTube 4 days before your cruise, talking about what to expect. It will be in the events to give you the heads up what to expect. We will send you some information about roughly what's going to happen. It's all interactive. There's so many things that we're going to do. Chili, question. You asked, was that I missed that question?
When will you be offering the Black Friday deals? I don't want to miss anything.
Black Friday? Sorry.
If you're
you know
from
what? It's a great question.
If you're from the United States, we have Thanksgiving. That was we celebrate getting rid of all you people on the other side of the pond. That's every holiday. It has something to do with Indians. I don't know what.
We're still here.
Seriously, that's our Thanksgiving holiday.
It's a great question.
It's the next day.
Because it won't just be a day. It's going to be like maybe the week going before it. It's going to be the Black Friday is Friday week. It's not next week. It's the week after, to my knowledge. Yeah. So as soon as these deals come in, that week of it, we will pop up with those deals as soon as they do. We've got something called the Pop-Up Deal Show, and we're on the YouTube channel. We'll put it on all the groups as well. We will be popping up live as soon as these deals come through. And again, we're not too sure either. So we're expecting loads of amazing deals. Also to announce some great hosted cruises from the Black Friday as well. So it won't just be on a Friday. I would say keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel all the week of the Black Friday deals and the week after, because they extend it, don't they, guys? It's
not just one day anymore. It's like 2 weeks, isn't it?
No, that's what I was going to say. It goes on forever.
Yeah.
Pete, Susan says, we do not give you a hard time. We enjoy your company. Susan, don't tell them that. Give them a hard time. We do.
Do you know what? I love Susan to bits, because Susan is going to be doing the Venom on the MC Europa. She's on the Europa, aren't you, Susan?
Well done, Susan.
And Susan is going
I won't be doing
Susan? She's going to kill me now, by the way. I'm in big trouble. She was on the Virtuoso as well, based in Wales as well. So, yeah, you do give me a hard time, and I love it. Yeah. So, we've met on the ship and we've become friends now, and it makes such a difference. That's why I fell in love with cruising. I don't know about you. I mean, I fell in love with cruising. I cruised on the Emerald Princess, and they had no solo meetings. I sat by myself on the big table for the first 3 days as well. I didn't know what I was doing, never cruised before. And then I discovered solo cruising after that with Norwegian Cruise Line, by the way, who at the time were the only cruise line, in my opinion, giving decent deals for solos.
Pioneers,
Yeah.
My story's a little bit different. The very first, now keep in mind, folks, I've been cruising, I think, since Columbus was on the boat. But my very first solo, now what's it been, 7, maybe 8 years ago now. And it was out of Port Canaveral. I flew into Orlando. I got on the shuttle bus from Orlando Airport over to Port Canaveral, and I was sitting in the front seat, and then people were, couples got on and they would go on back to other seats. And this gentleman walked on and says, "Oh, is anyone sitting there?" And I said, "No." He said, "Do you mind if I sit down?" I said, "No, of course not. Sit down." And he introduced himself, and I introduced him. He was a solo traveler. And he and I not only became friends on that cruise, we have been lifelong friends. I talk to him all the time. He's from Wichita, Kansas. And we've become just terrific pals.
Wow.
And that was 7, 8 years ago.
Alison,
fantastic.
Yeah, well, my very first cruise was a cruise you were on, Pete. I just went for it. Transatlantic, very first cruise. Everybody says go for 3-4 days in a small ship. I went, no. Norwegian Epic, Transatlantic, Barcelona, Malaga. We went into the Azores. We were due to go into the Caribbean. We did the Azores, then right over to Port Canaveral. 13 days. I didn't want to get off. It was fantastic. And I think if anyone hasn't done a transatlantic either, you have to do one, because they are I think it's such a different experience from your normal cruise as well. But yeah, that was my first one.
Lots of
Totally
sea
addicted
days.
to it.
Fantastic.
Oh, lots of sea days, which I love sea days, because I think they get you used to the ship as well. They get you to, explore the ship and see what the ship's all about. But yeah,
So
that was my
poor
first one.
Alison, she bumps into me on her first ever cruise.
Yeah.
You
Still
know.
can't get rid of him, Chili. Can't get rid of him, Chili.
It's Oslo, isn't it? Yeah.
All right,
Lizzie,
here's a
Well-
question that all of you can-
we'll come back about it. Ask a question. That's more important.
Okay. Hi, never been on a cruise. Thinking of a winter cruise, but can I ask in relation to the cabins, are they warm in the winter, as I suffer badly in cold health-wise?
Okay. That's
Who
an
wants to
easy
grab
question. That's an easy question. Cabins are like a hotel room. You have a thermostat, so you can control the temperature, set it to whatever you're comfortable with.
What I would say also,
Justin and I did Alaska,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and we didn't
were fine.
freeze unless we were outside, and it was cold as what outside.
if you are
Find the
able to
cabins.
if you're able to get a balcony, what I did on my first cruise was I loved the idea. I had a balcony, so I had the balcony door open, so I didn't have the aircon, and it was wonderful. The actual temperature was fantastic. I could hear the sea at night time. What I didn't think about was that we were going to go into a port, and we docked in a port, and I woke up in the morning not wearing anything, opened my eyes to see people looking down at me. Looking down at me, I'm thinking, oh dear, yes, I am naked in bed in a port. I didn't think about that. You learn lessons, don't you?
I've done that multiple times. I already know.
Seeing Pete naked, man, that would be a hell of a shock. Wow.
It was.
Ah.
Yeah, so we've answered that, have we? We've answered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've lost track of what I was talking about,
Yeah.
by the way. All right, Mike, yes. Now, it's really interesting,
Ooh.
because on the World Europa, they have a secret bar, a secret speakeasy bar, where they're not going to tell you where it is. Now, according to Steve, because he goes, it's an invite only. We were told originally that you have to find it, and you have to sort of walking around press walls to try to figure it all out. Yeah. And so my thoughts are, if I find the speakeasy bar, I'm going to have the solar meetings from the speakeasy bar and see who can find me.
That's a good idea.
Good idea. Can you imagine everyone going all around that massive ship, just pressing doors? You could come across all sorts.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah. Chili question.
Now, it's an answer to one of the questions. This is
Okay.
from, come on, tongue, Yvonne.
Yvonne.
She said MSC charged them £11 for the shuttle buses we used last week on the Preciosa.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they do charge. They do. One of the things that we do, by the way, is that we on the hosted cruises meetings, so then we talk about meeting for a coffee and walking off the ship together. If you're in a port, you can do that, or share taxis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know a whole group of people on that grabbed a taxi in Barcelona, and they had a tour around Barcelona for 3 hours. The taxi driver having a wonderful time, but they had a great tour. So you can share the cost as well. Was Paul saying something?
If they're not questions, I'm just showing the comments
Yeah.
that are made. So go ahead with whatever you were doing. You probably weren't doing anything, but that's neither here nor there.
Going back to some of the tips that we talked about, because it's really important, because it's not just the tips we discussed a bit earlier are kind of some of the really obvious tips that we do. Yeah. But there are some other tips which are a little bit more, you don't really hear about, which could be really, really useful. Yeah. One of them, I'll start and then see, folks, if you can think about some of the more unusual tips for people who are going to cruise solo for the first one. One of the things I used to find that used to really frustrate me was I would go to the buffet for lunch or breakfast or dinner, whatever. Yeah. and I would get my. I'm solo, and I go there, get my food, get my drink, whatever it is, have my first course, get up, go and get my next course, come back, everything's gone.
Oh, that's
Food's
happened to me
gone.
before.
Drink's gone, everything's gone. Do you know a simple thing to do is take a hat with you, just a hat, yeah, and leave the hat on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Something as simple as that, yeah. Leave the hat on the table, or maybe a jumper or something to put on the chair. An extra little item of clothes is a simple thing, and then when you get back, you'll find they've nicked everything.
I'll leave my phone on the table.
But I always find as well, if you're in an area and you've got your server, there's usually the same servers in that area. If you can catch their eye and just say, look, I'm just going, they're really good, I found, in sort of keeping an eye out for your seat for you as well, and just say, look, I'm just going to get something. No,
I don't
not
find
your
that. I say I'll be back in a minute, and it's gone.
You obviously don't have the charm then, Pete.
Chili, have you got something which is, people don't normally think about, but it's actually quite an important thing from a solo point of view? I'd like to hear everyone's ideas.
No, not anything just unusual. I mean, I just go. One of the things that bothers me, I'll tell you what bothers me the most.
Okay.
Is when the cruise line set up solo meetings, and they set it up right in the dinner hour. And
I've seen that.
Especially I usually have early dining, which is either 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and they set the solo meeting for 5:45.
Yeah. I agree.
They set the solo meeting for 10:30 at night.
Yep.
Those seem to be the two times.
I had a solo meeting on Ambassador. I went to it. It was in the daily. Solo meeting, midnight. Midnight.
On Ambassador?
I'm not sure where Alison's going, by the way. That's what Wanda, yeah. So midnight.
Sorry, I was trying to find something there for one of my tips, but I can't find it. But never mind.
You're painting your wall behind you. I think she was putting a coat of paint on the wall.
I was trying to be discreet, but
absolutely. The time of the solo meeting could be something again. Alison, is there something a little tip that you have?
Yeah. Do you know what I was looking for? My Passion for Cruises wristband.
This.
Oh, you've got yours. I had it here ready, but it's disappeared. That's why it must have fallen down. Exactly. Passion for Cruises, for anyone who hasn't sailed with them before, or anyone new who's going to be sailing with them for the first time, they issue wristbands for everybody. So yeah, that would be my tip. Look out for everybody else with the blue wristband.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I'll go to that question in a second. Justin?
What I would recommend is, especially if it's your first solo cruise, look into upgrades. So one thing I do on Royal Caribbean, and now even Margaritaville at Sea and Virgin, now to think about it, they have certain upgrades to basically upgrade your experience. Like, for example, on Royal Caribbean, I do the Key. And as a solo, if they see you with the upgrade experience, the crew members just treat you like royalty. So, I mean, if you're nervous about whatever your experience is going to be, they will make sure it's amazing if you have the upgraded package. And I mean, it's fairly inexpensive. So, for example, I bought the Key, and it cost $23, and I was going to get the internet, which cost $17 per day. But the Key includes the internet. So, I mean, it's usually a win-win situation if you buy something like that. So definitely look into it and spoil yourself. I mean, it's your vacation, so you want to spoil yourself.
And Lizzie?
Well, you were saying about the putting a hat. I always carry around a bag with me, like, the cheap £1 fabric bags from Poundland. And then I put a book in that, and I just stick it on the table, or I take my book out if I want to spread across and claim my table while I'm eating. That really helps. But what I really find really helpful, and how I've become lifelong friends with people, is just saying hello to people in the lift or in a hot tub. I made friends with people in a hot tub, and we now meet monthly as a crafting Sunday, which is really nice.
We met on a ship, Lizzie, didn't we?
Yes, we met on a ship. I picked Pete up while we were going for dinner,
Yeah.
said no, we eating together for the rest of the cruise,
Yeah.
and this was the first night of the cruise.
Yeah. First night we were on the same table by pure luck, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because we
Well, no, I said to the person at the
Lizzie just-
restaurant, we are eating together for the
Yes,
rest of the
yes.
cruise.
And we did.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, can you put that Nancy post up again? The first one that was up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I
Those
love
of-
Nancy.
commented.
I want to say a massive
Yeah.
hello to Nancy
Yeah.
and
Hi,
Carl.
Nancy and Carl.
Yeah.
I'm going to say hi
Now,
to
Yeah.
If you haven't, not that one before, the bigger one before,
Yeah.
because the bigger
Nancy's.
one before on that one. Yeah, hi gang,
Yay.
excellent hosting on the Virtuoso.
Hi, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
See you in Dubai. I can't wait on the World Europa. See, we're becoming friends again. And what she's also going to be doing, yes, Carl. I hope Carl is going to be doing Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you haven't met Carl, the Cruises for Solos group, there is a photograph I've posted with me and Carl. Carl has cruised the world. He's traveled
Yep.
the world.
Oh,
He's a star.
Is now.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Carl. I met Carl and Nancy in June on Virtuoso.
Yeah. I met Nancy and Carl in May on the Virtuoso. We did the Norwegian fjords.
Now, Justin's going, I'm really confused.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
We need to get Nancy and Carl over to Florida. We need to get Nancy. If you're listening to this, you need to get yourself over to Florida and join one of Mr. Bucket List and
Please
Chili's
do.
cruises
With Carl.
with
Yeah.
Carl.
With Carl, yeah. Carl's famous. It will make sense at some point to everybody else who's watching it. Have you got any more questions, by the way, Chili? Because before we
I
talk
don't
about a few
know,
other
Pete. I'm
things.
paying attention to you.
I know. That's not normal. You normally completely ignore me, Chili.
I
Right.
try to at all costs.
Right. And just to explain also about a couple of other things. Okay, Paul. Stop it, Nancy. I'm tempted, but the original PFC offer is sold out now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know something? When these
that's-
offers come up, folks,
Yeah.
honestly, they change really quickly. My
Yeah.
advice is grab them
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
soon as you possibly can. Yeah. Do you want to read that, please, Jenny?
This is from Samantha. My first cruise was Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas. I'm going on Independence of the Seas this year, I hope. Had a fantastic time. That was back in 2012. I've done 14 since. Very good.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Well, just to explain a couple of things for everybody watching, because I said we're going live on the Passion for Cruises and Holidays for Solos YouTube channel, which also has a page as well. So please subscribe to the channel. The channel is really about the videos and about explaining more, doing shows like this, talking about the hot deals and talking about the hosted cruises. We will always post everything on the wall, on the Facebook group wall. But I wanted to explain to everybody because we also have a Facebook page, yeah? And the page is called Passion for Cruises and Holidays for Solos. Because the way things work, a page and a group, everyone's confused between the two. What happens is with a group, anybody who's joined the group can post on the wall. They can post on the wall. On the page, only the people that run the page can post on it. What's happened with Passion for Cruises is that all these amazing deals that we have are going down the wall quickly on the Facebook group because we have so many amazing members who want to post and interact with everybody. So we can only accept so many posts on the group, but it does often, what happens is if you post on a group and comment on it, that post goes to the top. So we're getting quite a few people saying we're losing the deals on the group.
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook page as well. We'll keep posting the links to that on the group, and the page only has the deals and the YouTube links, and we can't move them up and down. They're in order of when they were posted. So if you only want to see the deals, they are on the page as well as the group. Just to explain that to everybody, there is a website, Passion for Cruises website, which I think it's going to be upgraded reasonably quickly at some point because again we've grown so hugely, but we have the top 100 solo deals on the website. Sadly, you have to scroll through them, but you know what, it's worth it. It really is. And there's an email where you can sign up to an email and they will email you some of the latest deals as well. So I just wanted to explain that to everybody.
Yeah.
Chili.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, here's a good question for everybody. When's the best time to tip? At the beginning of the cruise or at the end?
What a great question. Should we start at the bottom? Should we start at the bottom left? Justin.
Sure. So I actually entered it in the chat as well, but I like to do it at the end of the cruise just because I had an experience with a crew member, and he said it really meant a lot to him to personally thank him and tip him, and it went a long way back to his family. So just because you kind of get to know the people by then, I like to do it at the end of the cruise.
Yeah, I always do mine at the end. So, you know, in the dining room, the waiter, there's normally 2 that deals with the tables.
Mm-hmm.
I always get 2 envelopes from the reception, and I fill it myself, or if anyone at the table wants to join in, they can put their money in the envelopes and we give it at the end of the cruise.
Alison.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I always tip at the end as well. Yeah, definitely.
Chili.
Yeah, I always do too. And I'm my room steward.
Yep.
Usually 2 people in the dining room. And then I also, if there's been a couple bartenders that were particularly helpful or particularly friendly, I will also give them a little something.
I do know. I mean, I think tipping is for having great service for people who deserve it. You know, for me, and which you do at the end. I do know. I meet people all the time that, for instance, they decide to give some of the certain bartenders a good tip early on, so they feel better service. They do that sometimes. Yeah. You know, chili, yeah. So you're tipping early. Chili didn't mention that, did he? Yeah. So they're getting better service at the beginning. And again, you know, I look around and think, who deserves it? You know, because you know the person in your room, cabin steward, they do get tips. I always make sure I give the cabin steward a tip. And of course, the people who serves you in the restaurant, if you're in the same restaurant all the time, does. But you also look for somebody else. You try to find someone that doesn't normally get a tip as well, don't you? If you possibly can.
Oh
Yeah.
And I also go to and fill out the cards as well. Quite often on the ship, you can fill out a card just to say if you've had great service from somebody as well, and just fill out their name and leave that at guest services. That goes a long way as well.
Yeah, great.
All right, there's been a couple comments about getting assigned to tables at dinner with married couples. Yeah, it's nice when you have. I personally like a mixture of other solos and marries. But I'll tell you one story. I was at a table matter of fact, it was on Justin's cruise when we went to Alaska at the Quantum of the Seas. And there was a couple at my table who I've become vast friends with. I went on a couple excursions with them in Alaska. I since then they're big casino people. And they happened to both win free cruises on Symphony of the Seas.
Wow.
And they called me and said, "Hey, you want to take one of these free cruises? It's a suite." I said, duh, of course. There sometimes can be some benefit to having couples at your table as well. Now, admittedly, I like a mixture, because I like to be with other solos.
Before I go around the gang, I mean, I would say that Passion for Cruises what they do is, if you're booking for Passion for Cruises, they do try to make sure that the solos that are booked from them are sitting on the same tables with them. So, Lizzie, you're going to have 200 on your table, so that's going to be fun.
Table for 200, please.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, the good thing is that I'm on the ship.
Hi, Fraser.
I'm on the ship a few weeks before this massive group cruise. So I'm going to try and talk to them and make sure that everything goes well for the group.
We have Fraser, the wonderful Fraser, the Solo Traveller _UK. Check out his channel. He couldn't make it today, unfortunately, with us live, which would have been wonderful. But he will be in future shows, and we'll introduce him, talk about him as well. What currency
here's
do we tip?
Another good question. What currency do we tip?
Yep.
It's
Who wants to
easy.
get that
I think that the crew members love all of the currencies. So Pounds, euros, dollars.
Yeah, I think it
Anything.
depends where you're obviously sailing from, where your
Yeah.
ship is based. For example, I was in the
Mhm.
Virtuosa last May. Its home port in Southampton. Yeah, so I tipped in UK sterling. So I think, but I've also been over the Caribbean a few times. So yeah, tip in dollars. I think it just depends where you're going, really, where your ship is.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. Okay, but we're coming to the end of the show, unfortunately. I hope that we've been quite helpful in all our advice. And if you've got a few, literally 1 or 2 more minutes, so if you've got any urgent questions, please ask us. If not, please ask in comments in the YouTube channel or in comments in the Facebook groups about it as well. And we will try to answer those questions. As we know, Steve P from Passion for Cruises is on the World Europa. Chili, ask that question, please.
Yeah, what do you think about the new Icon class? That's, of course, Royal Caribbean, the Icon of the Seas. As would be the first ship in that class. It's very into family vacation, meaning solo cruises are a bit left behind.
I want to take that one.
See that?
So I'm on the Icon of the Seas inaugural sailing, and he's exactly right as far as us feeling like we're left behind. They don't have any solo rooms on it. We got charged full price for double. It was just a mess. So I mean, I'm excited for it, but I definitely understand what you mean as far as left behind. It's a lot of family areas, but the good thing is there are adult only areas as well, which is new for Royal Caribbean. So that's a plus, at least on the ship it is.
Wow. And so before we go, I'm just going to show you, Steve sent this to me, by the way, because we won't be able to talk over it. He is on the World Europa for the naming ceremony, and he just sent me this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you want to know, by the way, just to let you know, Sue, this is the dry slide, deck 20 to deck 8 in seconds.
Yeah, no.
Now, Chili,
No, I'll do it.
Not
now,
happening.
Chili, are you going to do that with your scooter?
Absolutely not. Pete. I have trouble getting on a high bar stool. So I'm no way I'm getting on that.
If you don't know, Chili has a scooter, yeah, and he has crashed his scooter. I don't know how many times. He's been upside down. I don't know how many times. All the wheelies he's doing is absolutely crazy. So thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, Black Friday is coming up. That's the big one. We will keep you up to date as soon as we know more about it. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who are watching. Solar Power is because of you. You know, it's because of you. We have solar power. We have some amazing cruises coming up. We will be updating you as soon as possible about America, about the hosted cruise that Chili and Justin are going to do from Florida next year. Can't wait for that. And I want to say a great big thank you again to everybody. So Chili, thank you very much.
Of course, Pete, I'm looking so forward to Passion for Cruises coming to the States. That's going to be awesome.
Alison,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. And Justin, look forward to seeing you in Athens.
Oh yeah.
Justin, thank you. Mr. Bucket List, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Lizzie, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I look forward to this adventure with Passion for Cruises and
Folks,
Cruises for Sailors.
Can everybody please post your links in comments to on your groups? So if anybody wants to follow your group or your YouTubes, please put a link in the comments in the groups on Passion for Cruises and Cruises for Solos, folks. So you can link and you can follow, because they have amazing videos. They really do. Absolutely incredible videos. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully see you next time. So thanks, folks.
See you soon.
Okay,
Bye.
bye everyone.
Bye.